Ladies and gentlemen, as I have an itch under my nose, sorry. Ladies and gentlemen, welcome to Tosh Talks. I'm Tosh. I'm the book buyer at Book Soup, a bookstore in West Hollywood. And we have a large entertainment, large movie, large film, large music, large fiction, large non-fiction, but we also have a good, great design section as well. Because what is this world without design, without somebody framing who we are, what our desires are? And there's actually a store in Japan, a chain store called MUJI, which pretty much defines my world as I want to live it. And I discovered MUJI like 1989 when I first went to Japan. MUJI, first of all, is a store, a designer store of sorts, where they have everything from pocket knives to notebooks to forks and knives to food to pillows to clothing to shoes, socks, underwear, t-shirts, to CD machines, to DVD machines, to TV sets, to umbrellas, to notebooks, which I'm a big fan of, to prefab homes. And basically, MUJI designs your whole life perfectly. And when I first saw the store in Japan, I became in love, infatuated, seduced. Yes, I was seduced by the MUJI aesthetic. And RIZZOLI put out this book on MUJI, which is sort of a catalog and explains the MUJI aesthetic. And what's fascinating to me about this, MUJI, as far as I know, at one time, I just thought it was only in Japan, but MUJI actually has stores in Europe. And I went to the stores in Europe. I went to the one in Paris. They have a couple in Paris, and they have a couple in London. And they have now stores in New York City. So slowly but surely they're moving, westward. I hope they come to Los Angeles. And to be quite honest, when I do go on a vacation or holiday trip, I only go to places that have a MUJI store. It's the truth. I don't go to camping. I don't go anywhere unless there's a MUJI store attached to my destination. And one of the things I buy at MUJI, tons of, is the sock, the MUJI sock. Always one fit, fits all, perfect sock, perfectly designed, cotton. When you put your foot on this thing, you feel incredibly comfort. It's like it's almost essential bliss. And all MUJI's design products are that way. And here's this, for instance, like the cooking utensils. Now, if you notice things, they're not very colorful. It's either black, white, or gray. All MUJI is black, white, and gray. They don't do red, they don't do orange, they don't do blue. It's all black, white, and gray. And I find that very peaceful, very kind of comforting, and I find it very soothing. And MUJI is also famous for being a no-brand. There's sometimes called a no-brand store because they're not selling anything. There's nothing there to sell. It's like this notebook. This is like a perfect MUJI object, this notebook. No name, nothing there. It's this solid brown notebook. So in a way, their no brand is the brand. That's kind of a beauty of it. The no brand is the brand for MUJI product. And this is actually the first MUJI store I've been to, and it's actually, by coincidence, the first MUJI store ever. And this is in Oyama in Tokyo. And I can't tell you how many hours I spent in this place, walking through that door. 2 stories. First story is clothing and umbrellas and underwear. And I have to tell you, the only underwear I buy and socks I buy are from MUJI. I don't wear any other brand of socks, and even t-shirts. They're all pretty much from MUJI. And the great thing about MUJI is price. They're also either very cheap or very moderately priced. You're getting incredible value for your dollar or for your yen on that product. But again, that's like a little plus. It's not the main reason why you will go to MUJI. You're going really for the design and for the look of the place and the whole aesthetic. So when you walk into a MUJI store, this particular one, you get the clothing, like the white cotton shirts, t-shirts, dresses, clothing for men and women and babies and children. And then you go upstairs. Upstairs mostly the kitchen, and interior stuff like couches, chairs, of that sort, and also a little beauty supply stuff. And they even sell like bicycles here. It's kind of interesting. It's like sort of like a breakdown portable bicycle, which is very simple, no brand on it. It's a sort of like almost, it's like air. It's sort of like you're looking at air, and the bicycle is somehow became formed from the air. And you notice this is all like MUJI's ads. And what's interesting again is the black and white. There's never any color. It's all black and white imagery. So everything is kind of black and white, grays, and it's just sort of the beauty of that whole look. And here's your typical MUJI display stuff where you buy these little cardboard things and you can place your things in there where you want to use it. And also, the great thing about MUJI is you can sort of design the MUJI thing you want to design it the way it looks, in a way, in your own home and place. And in a nutshell, it's kind of interesting photograph. This is sort of the MUJI kitchen right here among this whole thing. As you know, in Japan, spaces are quite small. So this is sort of almost like a typical kitchen space for a Japanese home. And all the MUJI stuff here is not large. It's all like compact, made perfectly for that one person, that one space. And that is the beauty of it. And MUJI even makes electric sockets. In fact, there's nothing they don't design. And here's sort of the MUJI clothing aesthetic, this sort of white on the hanger and the white background. It's probably very hard to see this on the camera, but there's a beauty of this and a very simple thing, an aesthetic that just shows the fabric, the way it's cut, the way it hangs, and it's very pleasing to the eye. It's really fascinating to me. And of course, there's the MUJI furniture, the chair, a little table. Little reading chair table, It's beautiful. And of course, as a music lover, I need my MUJI CD player that you can hang on the wall. Very minimal. All you get is a wire, the machine. I don't think it even has an on and off switch anywhere. I mean, just nothing. It's just that is it. Very minimal, no thinking, just sort of pure peace and bliss. And if you're in your office, you have your paper shredder. Destroy all those documents, white paper only, of course, against a white machine, shredding all that beautiful white stream of paper coming out. It's beautiful. And mostly a lot of furniture stuff is in here. You can get like clothes hangers, or for your laundry. Even that's MUJI eyes. Everything's MUJI eyes. And also, they have like a certain amount of beauty products here, and like a toning or creams for your face or for your hands. And each good MUJI store would have like a complete beauty line, including combs, brushes, tweezers, all beautifully made. And if you're like a label freak like I am, here's the sort of typical collection of like MUJI labels, clothing for all type of objects, and that's kind of fascinating graphic. And there's a lot of fashion here, a lot of clothing. And this is how sort of a typical MUJI store is sort of laid out. It's sort of very organic and very brown and very woodsy. A strong wood-feeling nature, and sense of nature of sorts in that sort of famous Japanese sense. This is their kitchenware and slippers. You must have slippers in Japan. You can't wear shoes inside a home. And very, very essential. This is sort of like another sort of great double spread layout of what a typical MUJI store is. Very clean, very precise, not fussy, just very simple to look at, and just sort of simple. The simplicity is actually not only pleasing to the eye, but it makes you want to touch the objects and stuff. And this is like a collection of their beauty products. Now, don't you want to just take each bottle and just pour it on your face, whatever it is? I mean, just, it's going to be good for you. It's going to be great. And then, of course, even MUJI food, like MUJI beans and MUJI chips and MUJI Japanese goodies, all delicious. But not look delicious. I mean, the design is actually more important than the food, actually, I think. I mean, I don't get hungry looking at this, but I'm just totally love the design of it, the interior design. So it doesn't please my stomach or my taste buds, but it pleases my eye. Food that pleases your eye. And I never actually tasted a MUJI food or cracker before. Now, MUJI also has a store in the airport, at the Narita airport. And it's called MUJI to go. So a lot of notebook paper, stuff like that. Stuff you can take on the plane with you. Beautifully designed. It's beautiful. And this is sort of like a typical, not typical, but your the prefab MUJI home. Sort of good view of the two-story home. All MUJI stuff inside it. It's just, the best thing in life is to be a MUJI man or woman. You know, just have everything MUJI. There you go. And here's the MUJI kitchen and stuff in the staircase. It's beautiful. So this is the MUJI book. It's fantastic. It's really interesting. You sort of get the whole sort of Japanese aesthetic in one book, really. 20th century as well as 21st century. MUJI, thank God, is still going strong. And I collected MUJI on notebooks. And they're cheap. I mean, this is like 60 cents or 50 cents to buy. Cheaper than going to buy any notebook in America, I think. Different sizes. And I even have like a sealed MUJI thing, which I will never, never open. I'm just going to keep it this way forever so I can look at it and just sort of marvel at the beauty of its simplistic packaging. So that's the MUJI world. That's my little obsession about MUJI. Hopefully MUJI will come to Los Angeles. But if not, visit a MUJI store in New York. There's about 2 or 3 of them. The Paris store and the London store are excellent. And of course, the best really, of course, is the MUJI stores in Japan. There's numerous of them. And it's a must place to see, to experience, to enjoy. And this book is a great catalog to that world. This is Tosh Talks. Thank you.